There is a lovely theme in this block of the day, and we move from lived experience to on-the-ground tangata whenua mahi. I have great pleasure in introducing to you all Shirleyanne Brown, who has worked to support communities for many years, and her passion for consumer co-design and empowering whānau for self-determination shines. She is a strong believer in people as partners in achieving, maintaining and thriving in their health and well-being through enabling the voice of whānau to inform and direct what matters to them. He mea nui ko te aha o a mātou mōhio. Engari ko ai mātou te kaupapa kei runga. What we know matters, but who we are matters more. Please o mai te paki for Shirleyanne Brown.
I'm in the house, whānau! Tēnā koutou katoa. Ko pari haka te maunga, hātia te awa, pehi awere e te marae. Nā te hau te hapu, nā te hau te hapu! Te iwi nā puhi nui tōnu. Tēnā koutou katoa. It's lovely to be here to see some, it's great to be here and reignite with some of the beautiful faces that have shaped and influenced my life, because often that only happens at tangis for Māori, but it's lovely to see a beautiful Candy there, Hayley, and one of my old bosses, Sandra. It's lovely to see you and many others. How many? I've just seen Humaima here, so there's many others here. So it's lovely to have friendly faces out there. So if I do this, whānau, you're scaring me? If you're doing it to me, it's time to go. So thank you, Emma, for those lovely rest talks. Helen, ngā mihi ki a koe. I know the work you do. I've been fortunate that one of my first bosses was Chris Farrelly in public health in Taitokerau, and seen my whānau there, the hopa and the rewati whānau from Ngāti Whātua, who opened your whare. They are also part of Ngāti Hau of Pihi Awari Marae. So ngā mihi ki a koe for the mahi you do. So whānau, this is my beautiful marae here. Oh, I need to click it somewhere, eh? Here we go. Oh, it ain't working. It's not working. I point it. No. Where do I point it? Oh, the green. Oh, shame. That was not on the run sheet, whānau. So anyway, those who haven't been north of Auckland, we do live. There is people that live there. So this is Pihi Awari here. We're in the takiwā of the great and the mighty house of Ngāpuhi. So if you look down and you look up, we're kind of in there, in the one there. We are sandwiched or squashed or enhanced, whatever the word may be, between Ngāti Wai on the coast and Ngāti Hini in the inland. We are Ngāti Hau, which is we're all over the place. We go right up to Hokianga there at Omanaya, over to Waho Valley there at Marae Nui, down to Omanaya, Akerama, Whakapara, Pehi Awiri and Maruata. So we're one of those hapus that you think you know us and you don't, because we're here and we're everywhere. So we're one of those whānau. So Pehi Awiri Marae have been around for a long time, right back in the Māori War days there with Kawati and our tūpuna Pumuka. And we were known as the hospital back in the days of the Rua Peka Peka War. So all the warriors used to come to Pehi Awiri to be healed, to go back into the battlefield, or if they didn't make it, they're buried around our marae. So we're known for that today as the place of manaki, the place of respite and care. And you can feel that in our wairua as you step into our whare tūpuna called Te Reo o Te Iwi. We were the first marae into Taitokerau become auahi kore. We were the first marae to establish the marae-led hauora program called He Ora Ngā Mau. We were the first marae to base marae expos. We never called them expos, but that became a flash word and everyone called them expos. We were the first to do that. We weren't a marae-based service. We were a mana whenua-led. Very different whānau. We get a lot of services come onto the marae and they go, oh, we've got a relationship with that marae. No, you don't. You hired us. And we are your ringawera. We don't even know what your kaupapa is because you're not invited into the wharenui. We're actually invited into the whare kai. So this is different. This is about mana whenua-led, not marae-based. Very different. We are the home of Hātia Kapahaka Rōpū, who has won many corals at Matatini. And Otene Hopa, who led the Pōheri, is also with his whānau there, the Hopa whānau. We're very blessed to have them as part of our marae. They are our masters of waiata, mō tiatia, and they hold the po for us there at Pehe Awari Marae. We have weekly sessions called Waiata Joy, just the joy of singing. And we house and we host all communities there every Tuesday evening from 6 to 7:30. Our Auntie Mary, who is now close to 90, she's our oldest one there. She wants to be home by 7:30 for 7 Coronation Street. So while it was cold and while we were in COVID, we went online. So we continue to be available to people just for the joy of singing. So that's been fabulous, and through that too, we've been able to get on the stage at our regional kapahaka as a tautoko rōpū for Hātia kapahaka. We have established marakai there on our marae, which service our people, service our whānau and our marae. We have weekly rāranga sessions there also, and we are very spiritual within the hāhi as we are Pehe Awari Māori Church and Marae. So we do and able to balance the two. Our westernised, most of us are ministers in the church, not me. I know. I've been born again a few times. But many of us are pastors of all denominations. Our church is still active as part of our marae. So our vision in this kaupapa here is that we have a hapori that's well. We want to be strength-based whānau, a little bit tired of being the mad, bad and sad. You know, we've got aspirations. And aspirations as whānau, as the marae, as mana whenua. Let's have that start of a conversation of how we can maintain our resilience and be the leaders of our mana motuhake. So we want to be able to have our combination of the combined with you to be the influencers, have the mana and the resources that achieve our oranga for all our whānau. Our approach at Pehe Awari as leading initiatives for mana whenua is stooped in the responsibility and accountability of kaitiakitanga. And this is enacted by our traditional lands and our people within it. I know some of the services here, you will come and go every 3 years because you're subject to the government. We are not. We have been around for mairano and we will be there mairano. We don't come and go. Seasons change, but the whānau and the mana whenua remain. Our tikanga remains solid. But often we are ignored or not even thought of in a plan to move forward. Pehe Awari has been there for a long time, and yet we have very, very little engagement with our primary care services or anything. We go to them. Often we don't get invited the other way. We are real believers in our why, to have a healthy and safe and thriving community and hapori and people. We want best fit for services and programs that actually mean something to us, that matters to us, that fits our destiny, not the destiny of a political whim or contractual obligation. We want seamless delivery of primary care services. And we often hear this, we want no door is the wrong door. And we want to use our taiao as our greatest healer and our greatest facilitator. Our marakai whānau has facilitated many courageous conversations. When your hand is in the soil, you become one with others in the garden. So the garden has really been a facilitator of many courageous conversations and many transformational kōrero that's happened with our people. And I don't think we use the beautiful backdrop that we have as Aotearoa enough. We put them in a clinical, which is a painted room, freshly painted with a couple of chairs. But, just up the road, we've got Hātia, our awa. A little bit further, we have our Waitangi. Up, we've got our Nafa Springs that's just open. What a beautiful place to actually sit in the pools of healing and have a conversation of healing. Why are we not doing that more? Then we're building constructs that keeps people out, when our taiao is the best place to reclaim, retain, and honour the past to move forward. because our taio speaks to us. If our taio is well, we are well. And based as kaupapa Māori whānau is best practice, non-negotiable. So in the COVID, we were approached by Mel and her beautiful team there at the doctors Tiki Punga. We have 2 doctors in our area, Tiki Punga and Te Whare Ora. Is that right? Yeah, Tiki Punga. And we were approached to go and support them in terms of the vaccinations, which we were gladly accepted. What we did is we didn't want to get involved in the clinical side, that's their expertise. But what we can bring to that was the manaaki side, the front of house. So we set up gazebos at the clinic there, and we did the karanga for all the whānau to come, regardless whether they decided to have a vaccine or not. Was not the issue for us. It was that all whānau have the right and deserve the same manaaki embrace, being honoured. For whatever decision they made, they still got the cup tea, they still got the waiata, they still got the karakia, they still got honoured. Because whānau, what's happened to our people has been quite divisive. In fact, marae were the last bastion of Māoridom, it's not now. The government tells us what we can do and what we can't do on our marae. We're starting to reclaim with very little resources to help us. We often say, how can we have a response to COVID? Whānau, how can we recover? How can we reimagine? And how can we reset using our tikanga of the day that has kept us well of our learnings from our tūpuna? Not even in the kōrero. Not even in the kōrero. That's sad. That's sad. And yet our maraes are starting to come alive again, but we're trying to reset ourselves, trying to regain some more respect within our own whanaungatanga again, because it's done a real disservice to many of our people that feel quite anxious and very detached now from their tūranga waiwai, from their marae. But we did this whānau because we wanted people to have that choice, but we wanted to make sure our whānau were well when they approached this very big take to see if they were vaccine or not. Many of our whānau didn't even have the information or weren't well informed just to make an informed decision. So we wanted to make sure that that was there. So we took that role with Mel and her team at the doctors. We also did the doctor, we did Māori-based, marae-based, and also social media. So it was a hub of conversation, really. Not trying to coerce. We didn't have flash cars or giving away all these wonderful things. We had beautiful tonga packs from the DHB and a mandarin on a cup of tea and coffee. But they came because people that really wanted to know came. You didn't need to entice them with a hangi or blimmin', that was nice, but heck, we can't keep that up. That's not sustainable. We wanted to make sure that our whānau, there was an authentic relationship happening here, and what can we do to ensure what we do now we can continue to do moving forward. Just some little shots of, just so it's real. I didn't just make it up and went and took shots just before the symposium, but we did. We had a great time. It was about over a month every Saturday. The whānau were there, and we got a bit of whanaungatanga in the service as well. It was our first time that we met many from the doctor's surgery, so we were able to go into their space, do karakia, and I think there's been a beautiful relationship that has actually been born. Is that right, Mel? Out of that too, that they've come to the marae. We've had pōheri, we've had whakawhanaungatanga since now, so we feel that they're part of our hapori, part of our whānau of Tiki Punga now. So we were very fortunate. I need to say this, whānau, there's Minister Heni Pienari in this here, and he asked us to put in a application. Shall I tell them that story? He gave us a weekend to put in an application for mana whenua for the first trance. Flash word, you ever heard that before? We did that. Mel helped us as well from the clinical side. We did that from a cultural side. We sent it to him, he received it, he sent it on to the Ministry of Health, and they lost it. It never even got filed. We never even got a receipt of anything. To this day, I had to follow it up, and it was never, ever filed. Momo, hoha, don't treat us like that. But despite that, we carry on. Just some more shots. Just so you're not, it's not made up. But yeah, and the beauty of where the doctors is too, with those who know Tiki Punga, it's in the hub of all our countdown and our other shops there. So you've got the liquor land there. So many of our whānau were going to get their liquor for the All Blacks game. We would go, hey, come over here, come and have a cordial, yeah. So we were able to do that. We were out there, we were running, runners just going out, but they could hear our sounds. My old school sounds was a draw card. It was a draw card. My moves were a draw card. Mel's voice was a draw card. And then we were able to just have that real whanaungatanga there. And many people didn't go anywhere but under our gazebo just to have time and fellowship with one another under manaakitanga aroha. This is another one we just finished not long ago. We were approached by TPK to do a resilience, or what they called it, a protection framework for response to COVID for our area, which we took up. The challenge, we needed to do this and get it all done in 5 weeks. Oh, we did it because this was the right thing to do and the best thing for our people. So the people that led this initiative were our mamas. And you're right, Helen, it's our women. The mamas led this, the mamas in their peepi led this response. But we changed it from a protection framework to a resilience framework. And how we did that is that we used our pūrākau, our stories, to start to really put our back up again, reposition our po, and know that we are, we've got stories that can turn things around. We might be bruised, but we're not out. The other thing we did here is I got a live scribe to come up, and he was able to picture the process. And we are submitting this to TPK because their processes suck. Their timelines are so unrealistic. Their money is good. But if you're going to approach us, we want to deliver and deliver more than what you asked for, because that's who we are. Whānau, everything I'm telling you today is none of this. This was all done on voluntary. Mana whenua marae don't get paid for any of this. Our currency is seeing our people thrive well. That's the currency in here. We didn't ask for it, we didn't expect it, but what we do expect is if we have a partnership with you, the currency is that we come first. You listen to us and you act upon our voice. So this is the process we're going to submit to TPK, and whoever else wants to talk about it, Ian, I'd love to come and share it with Mahi Tahi Hauora. This is how you do business with mana whenua. This is an authentic process here where you sit and listen and we will speak and guide. Just some of the things that we did, some practical applications of what we did. Many of our whānau wanted to know how to do kaimoana. We want to live with taiao, not countdown. We no longer want to be subject to those. We want to look at the backdrop and the beauty that is there. We want to look after it because it's looking after us. So we set a task for us that every Monday we're going to have these wānanga, and they were all based on, kaimoana was the first one. Again, our mama and her papa gave us tips and tricks of how to scale, gut, fillet, a fish. And it was awesome. We had over 60 whānau come to this one, over 60. And we made it very accessible and appropriate in terms of time. 2.5 hours tops with a good kai at the end. Good one. In that time, people heard from experts, they were able to do it, and they went away with a chili bin and all the tools to make it happen. You don't have to wait for a course that finishes in 6 months' time. You're a master of it right now. So that was the whole whakaaro that sat around resetting our whānau and giving them back the tools. They already had the know-how and the mātauranga. We just had to get revisit the confidence to get back on the tools and do it. So we did kaimoana Did I miss one? How do you go back on there? You can't. We did a preparing for winter. Here it is. Oh, yeah, this was with Heni Hotereni. Most of you may know who will follow her online. So Maramataka is a big thing. It's not because it's now a public holiday. It's always been a Maramataka has always been good to go in a Māori world. So we had over close to 90 to 100 people turn up to this one here, as you can see there. People are hungry. The appetite is there. So how can we embrace that? So she was able to just do a little bit of a learning, some testing, and they all went away with a calendar and a garden set so that they can turn that straight into action. We also did a couple more things preparing for winter, and this is when we collaborated with our DHB and our Kia ora Ngāti Wai and many others that came to the marae again for a couple of hours just to prepare our whānau for winter. We're going to do the same for summer, and it's relevant. It's relevant times, and allow our whānau to just talk to the right people, talk to the right carers, and they go away well equipped with information, knowledge. They did get a hangi when they left, but they felt really embraced and really honoured, and it was a safe place to ask questions that they feel a bit whakamā to ask, because it's not a clinic, it's on our marae. And then we had our marakai. This is a beautiful one. She don't look happy, but she is really happy. But her papa allowed me to show it, so I'm going to show it. But our kids, we had beautiful kids. Again, we had about 50 whānau, but we had tāne turn up, which is unheard of. We were excited to see tāne there with their pepe, getting amongst the soil and planting. And they went home with these plants, and they've actually started their own social media little hubs to keep each other encouraged. And they're asking, when's the next one? When's the next one? Again, whānau, they were given the information, they were given the tools, and now they're planting. And it's connected to our marakai back in the marae, that they can go, and that becomes an information hub as well. A lot of fun, a lot of laughter. So this was a result of that. We've created a protection or a resilient framework, and also we've developed our own whare, preparing your whare for COVID. We might change COVID because it's really preparing your whare for anything that threats the whānau, that's threatening the whānau. That could be alcohol, drugs, violence, everything. Whatever threatens the whānau, we put a rahui around you and we care for you. So that's where we're moving to, is developing that real care and that response from a Māori perspective, mana whenua. And we are a locality in Tiki Punga. We're probably not on the Flash people's radar yet, but we're doing it anyway, because it's the thing we do. We don't need a government to tell us, we like their money, but anyway. So last words, whānau, as Pehiawari continues to be a beacon of leadership and hope for our people, but for our wider community of whāngarei te ringa praoa. Equity can't be recognised and it won't be achieved if mana whenua aren't at the table. They must be at the table in our lived experience whānau for discussions, decisions, the approach and the monitoring. How do we know it's been, who's better off as a result of that? How do we know that we are hitting the mark? And be adaptable, because we're not always going to get it right. The worst thing we can possibly do is do nothing. Give it a go. And together we can build that community or hapari that we all desire to live in, that we want to leave where our mokopuna has not yet been born, to know that it's in safe hands, because everyone sees the beauty and recognise te tiriti o Waitangi is for all. For all. So I always have to end with our babies because they are our future, and I also am fortunate enough to coordinate a couple of groups in Te Tai Tukaro, one called Mama's Movie Mountains, who are amazing, sassy, staunch wahine toa, and another group called Mana Manaki, and they're actually going out on the road now, and they are inspiring, and mamas for mamas by mama. And this was a wānanga we did up in the Katikati Peninsula where they were learning how to dive and shell kinnas. Yeah, that was an experience. It's pretty good. Don't like kinnas, but it was good. But I love this quote from Martin Luther King. There comes a time where our position can't be sexy, politics, popular, but our conscience say it's the right thing to do. So mana whenua are ready. We've been ready. We won't move. We haven't been. It's about having that relational, as Helen said, relationship. Hawaii, Hawaii. And man, magic can happen between after those 3 words. So I'll end with my marae. Pehi Aori, please come and visit us. Might have to text first. We don't live there and we're not on grass skirts, but we don't live far. We don't live far from our marae. We are part of the hapuri of Tiki Punga there in Whangarei. We are staunchly passionate about who we are. We unapologetically say, we won't come to you, you come to us. I think that sounds right. Is that, you know, in a mana enhancing way. We're not, like any situation for Māori, we give you the best finery. It's when you leave we have a really good conversation. But we are the best, our whānau and it's not just with Pehi Aori, but many of our marae. We know we are occasion people. We know how to look after people. We know how to look after their hearts, their mind, their tinana, their wairua. It's part of our DNA. We don't need to go to a course. We can do that. Allow us to embrace you by bringing you into our world and allowing you to be reshaped, redesigned, disrupt your system by coming into our system. So whānau, thank you for this opportunity to be in front of you. I've been inspired by the kōrero that's gone, and I will continue to be through the course of the day. I'll be supporting a workshop upstairs at Te Puni. That's the long one with, or the Kaizen, I think. Yeah. But thank you. Thank you for this. And I'm very honoured and proud to represent my marae, Pehi Aori marae, Ngāti Hau. And I just, thank you for this opportunity to be part of this Collaborative Aotearoa. And I look forward to doing more disruptive? Oh God, blimey, that wasn't it. Destructive. Oh, disruptive. Yeah, that's the word. Disruptive things with you, because I love the fact that it's actually led by whānau and whānau voices. So, nō reira, tēnā kouta katoa. Parihaka te maunga, hatea te aua, Pehi Aori te marae, tapu e. Ngāti hauko te hapu, ngā puhi te iwi, ti he wa mauri ora he. Whakapono tu manako, me te aroha he. Ko te mea nui o enei, ko te aroha, puri te aki enei taonga e. Puri te aki enei taonga e. I auwehi. Kia ora.
Te kuia hu mari e, tēnā koe whaia.